Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it is Tuesday. It's July 16th. This will be our chart lesson for the day, and pretty interesting day today. We finally had some down movement. It looked like we were going to be in a real tight range again, but we finally sold off here. In the end, there's a two-tiered channel here. This is actually a midline. I didn't make it. I usually like to make my midline a little lighter so you can kind of differentiate. But had a nice two-tiered channel working down. You really didn't get this confirmed until here. There's still not a lot of trades today. There's just not a lot of price action, not a lot of volume, but at least we had some movement today. So anyway, I'm going to back out a little more. We'll talk about these trades again. Like the last few days, it won't take long because there's just not a lot of trades here. But earlier you were probably playing this and you had the support here. But once we dropped on through and continued on, um, there's a couple of possibilities here. The only problem here is you got this confirmed here, but you don't want to go short right into that support. You do get a little breakout pull back here, but there's not really a lot of evidence yet that we're going to be trending lower. So, I mean, that's a possibility, especially when we already, well, let me back up here. I want to make it green. I still think it's because you're basically going short at the low of the day. So that's never a good idea. But there is a little bit of a trap. There's actually a failed second entry long here, but it's right into those lows. Not a very good signal bar, and it's too big a chance it bounces here. But notice how it tests. It tested here, and then it tries to come higher again. It can't even get back up there, and then turns down along that trend line. Well, that's a possibility that, hey, we may be going lower. So I would have, at minimum, I would have measured this leg, and once we started going lower here, so you see that puts the low down here close to where it bounced. It actually went a little further. Uh, so it gives you a little bit of room to get out there. So you may risk that one, but we'll talk about it in a minute. 7 o'clock came right in here somewhere. It was tempting to go short right here, but I really think you have to wait on a lower high. It's not really, you notice we made a higher high, and then yet another higher high. So it's hard to say if it's going to be a failed breakout. I'd really want to wait on a reversal or something. We didn't get that till here. And notice by then, you got enough room to get out before here, but it's a failed second entry long. It's a reversal pattern. It's right off the EMA. It actually broke higher and turned down. I like maybe going short right there. This one is real close to being green because it is close to the overnight lows, although you can see we're going sideways and you get a failed breakout, and you actually had a failed breakout here. And the real reason I like this one is that failed second entry long, which is a reversal, but you got to be careful about those on tight ranges as well. So this one is iffy. You could argue for it to be green, but with that being the first break of that trend line and being enough room before these lows, for this last low, it's real close on this one. You probably didn't have enough room, but this would be the one you're more worried about than this one, although this one would be a concern too. So that's why you could almost make that argument for it to be green. But then, of course, we make a low down here, which is a new low. We bounce. We just kind of start going sideways, and even though we're working lower here, there's a reversal, or I wouldn't say a reversal, but there's a failed second entry long here. But look how flat that is, and look how there is a little bit of a trend line, but it's just too congestive and it's not really going anywhere. And when it bounces off this low and gives you a double test, notice that low, we tested it once, we tested it twice, we get a nice bullish bar. I like going long there just to look for a second leg up. And what you want to look at here is you got a leg down, and then you got a two-legged correction in the middle. That's leg one. And there's leg 2. It's almost a perfect measured move. So there's 2 leg correction. So that's when you would look for the measured move down, which was right down in here somewhere. And so, but of course you got to get through this support first, especially the way prices have been acting the last few days. You got to make sure that we get through there and that we're going lower first. So anyway, we're going sideways here. Notice you got a first entry and you got a second entry on a failed break higher with a nice bearish bar. I like going short there. You may not could have gotten in that one because it gaps over and takes off. I would have still dropped a limit order in there. Maybe you get filled, maybe you don't. Maybe your setup looks a little bit different. But then it comes back and makes a lower high right here, so I like entering there for sure. You got plenty of room to get out. If it would have broken higher here, I probably would have liked entering here if you still have enough room. Okay, I had a slight interruption. I can't remember where I was here. I think we talked about this trade. You make a lower high, you got plenty of room to get out. And then of course you make a failed second entry long right here. If you'd have broken higher here, maybe you enter when it went lower here, but it didn't. You definitely can't go short right here. You didn't get your failed second entry till here, and you can't go short into these lows because you see what happens. And even though it didn't bounce very far, you just don't know how, generally a lot of times it's going to bounce and trade back up. It didn't in this case because we were going lower. And notice how it made a little double test and then it tries to come up again. So we're really kind of making lower lows and lower highs. The main thing is I like that trend line, but we did have a break and a new low right here, but it's still going lower. So you may enter there looking for that measured move. I think it's a little risky. Here's another one right off the trend line, little small 3-bar, but you've been away from the EMA a while. You really don't have anything that tells you for sure that this 2-tiered channel is here because it hadn't been confirmed yet. Of course, you might have drawn it and you probably would have had it off these lows at that point. So assuming you did have it right there, and you can see that some people probably assume that because they tried to buy right there. You would have plenty of room left to that even if you were reading it that way. So and I think it was more like that right there. So just something to consider. I don't think I would take either one of those. They're not bad setups off that trend line if you know where we're headed, but you don't really know that at that point. So you didn't get this confirmed till here. I mean, you still should have probably drawn that off those first couple of swings, but there's nothing to really, and it does seem to fit down here, and that's why we probably got a little bounce there. But as you can see, it doesn't turn out that's correct. You always want to get these trend lines confirmed, really. So I don't see any reason to enter down here. If you didn't get in up here, I'd skip these. And the good thing is you would have had a runner off either one of those entries. So you would have got a runner off this one and maybe a little bit of one off this one. Then we bounce, again, being this far down here, that far away from the EMA with a big bullish bar that actually went lower and turned and went out the other side, you might risk going long right there. It's a little risky. You're better off to wait on the reversal pattern, which comes here. But even then, I'm not crazy about this. It is a failed second entry short. You do have 2 legs up. The problem is this EMA didn't hold here. We went right back through it and we're below it, and that's a very neutral bar. Generally, we don't care so much about the signal bar on a reversal and a trout, but this just doesn't, you can tell it still fooled a lot of people when it broke higher because they had to all exit. So a lot of the shorts started exiting right there. That's why you get a big, huge bar like that, because you're getting all these people short and they finally get a correction and they say, okay, now I'm going to get short when they watched all this move and there's not a lot of good entries there. And they jump in short, and what do you know, it reverses and they all have to exit. And that's the beauty of traps, is because they move quickly. You get a scalp in just a blink because they move real quickly like that when everybody has to jump ship and exit. There is another little higher pullback here. But you've already had a break in a new high. And you're not back to the EMA. I think there's a failed second entry short here, but now you're right back to the trend line. I just think it's too risky. So, but it pushes up and turns down right off that, and you get a fairly bearish bar. I like going short there just to try to ride it back to the EMA and try to get a little better entry. You probably would have wanted to enter one tick below this bar. This is your signal bar, but it ended up making this middle bar here. So one tick below it. Your stop still has to go above that bar because technically this is still your signal bar. And again, the bottom falls out of it. So you'd probably catch a runner here and be able to ride this all the way down. Anyway, you get a lower high here, first entry, and no reason to enter there. You get another lower high here, but now you're right back into these lows. And notice you got two lows here, and then you get a double test here, and nothing's closed below that. This is not a perfect bar. I'd really like a little more bullish bar here, but being that far away from the EMA and being a double test and being a relatively bullish bar, I'd probably still risk that. I may let it break higher and drop a limit order in. Of course, you may miss some trades doing that. The better entry is to wait on the true reversal, which comes here, and that's right at the 2 o'clock hour. But with that much room back to the trend line and it being a great reversal pattern, notice how we pushed through the EMA. We tested once, we tested twice. Big bullish bar that actually traded way down here and then closed on its very high. That's a good sign. I like going long there. I marked it green because it's after 2 o'clock, but I mean, that's a full-fledged trade other than it being right at 2 o'clock. So you could say, hey, that's a blue trade. Any other time I would have made that trade blue. So, but yeah, that's what I saw today. Again, we had some good movement here, but you just didn't get a lot of good chances to enter it. And this is what throws people off because it looks like it's going to be another range day. And generally they've been able to buy anything down here, and then suddenly they buy right here and they get trapped. And they wonder why. I mean, don't get lulled to sleep. That's what the market does. It starts doing the same things over and over, and then it lulls you to sleep, and then bam, it changes, and you get caught off guard. So you can't go by what the market's been doing or might do or what it's most likely to do. You got to watch the price action and read it. And the rules tell you, don't be going short down here. If anything, you're going to buy it down here. And then you got to be real careful, like right here. Because if you'd have bought here, you'd have got burned. And notice the second entry was actually right here. And so if you'd have looked at that like a failed break lower, you'd have probably got burned there. But notice how there's no real strength yet until right here you get a little bit. But I'd want to see more evidence that I'd want to see a higher low and another good signal bar or something like that. I'd really kind of like to see prices like look over here. You made your double bottom. You got a double test here, and you also have a higher low. And look how much higher it closed than even over here. That's a good sign. That's showing some strength right there, where this is not showing much strength. It's only about 3 ticks in that bar. So that bar is not showing much strength for a failed breakout or a bounce out. The first thing, it didn't really bounce real hard off the low. So, plus you got a trend line that's still working down. Of course, you still have that here, but this is more sideways kind of stuff and more like a failed break out of this congestion here, where this is a trend down. So that's a little bit different as well. So there's lots of little nuances that, that sometimes I have to think hard because it just comes natural when you do it long enough. But notice how prices are really, even though we're still working lower, how congested that is. Where here it's a clear trend down. And so this is more like a little failed break out of that, where this is trending down, and you got to make sure this trend is over before you start buying. But anyway, I'm not going to beat around the bush today. At least we did have some movement today. This was probably the trade of the day, confirming the trend line. little bit away from the EMA. I wish it would have been a little better signal bar, but it's still a pretty good trade. Of course, this wasn't a bad one here either. So it was real surprised that it took off like this, because you think you get lulled to sleep and you think it's going to be another range day, but that's why you have to see what the price action is telling you and not be trying to guess. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow. I'm done for today. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.